As you step into the next room, you see this long roll of parchment extending to the room, twisting around the corner, and almost then seems to float up into the air about 10 feet, where, with its back ever so slightly turned to you, you see a large thing. This almost looks as if a head has been incredibly expanded. You see veins pulsing out where one should not see veins in the back of this head. You see, hanging beneath it, the still regular-sized human body of Santa Claus, red suit and all. And you see, growing from this head, fleshy stalks that scan up and down different bits of this naughty and nice list. And you see, atop this creature's head, a little red and white hat that dangles about.
God, we're just full sending this. I'm just going up, wait until his mouth opens and pouring it in. That's it, right? And we're gonna pray that it does something. Because whether it kills him or fixes him, it doesn't matter, because this thing cannot stay. There's no reason for this. Alright, well, and he'll have his bees
I will cast
very
guidance
gently.
on you.
Thank you. He'll have his bees quietly drop the bag down, and he'll give it a nudge with his foot. And more bees will come pouring out of the bag. Their beating wings silenced by this pass without trace, and they will begin to circle and form around Stinger before settling underneath his feet. And he begins to climb what appears to be like a staircase. Each time he lifts his foot, a swarm of bees meets underneath where he lifted his foot to catch him as he slowly ascends higher and higher to the beholder.
Could need you to roll me a stealth check.
Oh, brother. I
Add
am
a
so
plus 10
scared.
and a d4.
I am so
Plus
scared.
10 and a d4.
Okay. 26.
He rolled a 22 on his perception.
That D4 saved me. That D4 saved me.
Holy moly.
Okay. I climb until I am, like, underneath the chin of the beholder.
Roll me an unarmed strike attack to try and get this bottle into this creature's mouth.
Oh, that's... an unarmed strike attack? Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, boy.
Yeah, one.
Listeners, now the Seinfeld theme's gonna play. That was a 10.
You reach up and stick your arm into this creature's mouth. It is muttering, it's like, oh yes, naughty for sugar. You hear crunching of glass. Hot cocoa for Santa. And one eye stalk zips down in front of you, Stinger.
Do I have to stealth again? Can I stealth check again?
Points to the nice list.
Yes, yes, yes.
For your last Christmas. I'm gonna need everybody to roll initiative.
Oh, no!
Oh, man.
As you sort of take in this room, as this combat starts, you see that that Santa's sleigh is set in the middle of the room, kind of like half filled with presents spilling from its bag. The roof above you is vaulted with one section that, almost like a sunroof, seems to be able to pull back, as if perhaps this is where the sleigh takes off from. after the reindeer are brought in and hooked up to the sleigh, and then sent off on their Christmas Eve adventure. You see that there's straw sort of strewn about, and this naughty and nice list has basically curled its way all through this room and up to in front of the beholder, who seems as if it had been holding it up with its telekinetic ray.
Is there a way, like a stalk or something close enough to the ground that I'd be able to, hop up and grab onto it?
There is.
Beautiful. Cameline's gonna kind of click her way forward, towards the eye stalk, grab onto it, and take out a little vial full of, what looks like a black murky liquid, and smash it against it. And I need the beholder to make me a wisdom saving throw, as I am attempting to cast Bestow Curse on it.
It's gonna be a 9.
He's going to fail. And so, the curse that I'm bestowing on the beholder is that, when cursed, the target must make a wisdom saving throw at the start of each of its turns. If it fails, it's wasted its action that turn doing nothing.
Whew, okay.
And then, with my other action, I'm going to... You said there's an anti-magic field in front of it?
Correct.
I'm going to... what other actions do I have? I need to do damage. Mike, just do damage. You need to do damage. I'm going to start by throwing a fire potion at it. So that'll be a fire bolt. Does an 18 hit?
An 18 will hit.
So I'll throw this fire potion at it to do 14 damage, and then I'm going to step into the center of the anti-magic field, remembering the words from before.
That potion flies up and connects with this beholder, and you then basically step right below it so that you are in its peripheral as its eye is locked onto Stinger. So tell me a little more about Bestow Curse. Is there a save to remove that effect, or is it just affected now until...
This one is a 1-minute concentration, and the only thing that can end it is either I drop concentration or remove curse.
1 minute concentration. Great. All right. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Nope. As I said, I'm gonna stay out of melee range, but I'm in that anti-magic field, because I believe that was the advice we got on the wall, right? Was to
the advice that you got on the wall was beware that where the magic leaves, or something like that. It was a warning.
Okay, letting us know it was a beholder. Okay, I thought it was advice. Oh well.
Okay, so it up next is going to be the lair action turn. Cameline, as you rush forward, you see, as you are running basically towards a wall from the door into this anti-magic field, you see an eye pop up on this wall, shoot a sort of purple-ish ray at you, and as that ray is coming to connect with you, it reaches the edge of this anti-magic cone and is completely dispersed. It is then going to be Vespera's turn.
All right. Am I still hidden technically in the Pass Without Trace?
It has not yet seen you.
Okay, great.
Honestly, the anti-magic cone makes this a much more puzzle fight rather than a dread fight.
That's beholders,
I'm kind of here
baby.
for it.
I love beholders.
Yeah, we know.
Okay, so that's concentration.
I was telling Michael earlier, it's not an Ethan campaign or an Ethan one-shot if there's not a beholder in there.
Okay, so Vespera, hidden under the gaze and not being seen by the beholder, is going to first cast Fire Shield on herself, and then using her other action, she is going to cast Witch Bolt on the beholder.
So unfortunately, you cannot cast 2 leveled spells within 1 turn, even with haste.
Oh, really? Oh, fuck. I'm sorry, guys.
Sorry.
No.
You can cantrip.
You can
And an
level
action.
and cantrip, but you cannot do 2 levels.
Oh. All right. I take it all back. Fuck.
You are all good.
All right,
Editor, keep
here's
this
what I'm
in.
gonna
Editor,
do.
keep this in. This is called learning on the fly.
This is learning on the fly. We made these characters this morning.
Holy moly. Okay. All right. This is what I'll do. I'm going to cast Witch Bolt. And that is going to be a 15 to hit. I'm assuming that does not hit.
That does not hit, unfortunately.
Okay. Then for my bonus action, I'm going to Hex. And this is concentration.
You cannot cast 2 leveled spells in the same turn.
But it's a bonus action.
Even so, you cannot cast 2 leveled spells in the same turn.
Okay, never mind. So don't do that. I'm still doing the Witch Bolt.
I'm
Jesus
so sorry.
Christ. No, it's okay. I'm still trying to figure out what I... Okay, then I will use my second action to cast Eldritch Blast. Let's see if
Cool.
this hits.
Roll the hit.
I think
All
you
right,
have
a 24?
multiple beams.
Yeah, I think you have 3 beams of Eldritch Blast at 10th level. Either 2 or 3.
Okay. Wait, what did I just roll?
You rolled a 24.
A 24, yes. Did a
So-
24 hit?
Yep, that'll hit.
All right, so 3 beams. Awesome. That's a 2.
So you will
And-
need to roll for each beam.
Oh.
And it actually looks like it's only 2 beams. I apologize.
Okay, so 2 damage for the first one, and then
Okay.
for this hit is an 8 that does not hit.
Does not.
So
no.
2 damage.
Brilliant.
I'm muting myself.
And then, okay, that's good. Because, yes, Witch Bolt missed for your action. And then we got Eldritch Blast for your bonus action. Well, not your bonus action, your second action with haste. Cool. It is then going to use one of its legendary actions, having taken that damage from you, Vespira, now knowing where you are. Oh, this one's rather naughty. It is going, that's cocked, to turn its Ineveration Ray on you, Vespira. I'm going to need you to make me a Constitution saving throw, please, Claudia.
Okay. All right, that's a 5.
I'm getting out my bag of dice.
He's got multiple dice. He's got multiple dice.
That's not good. That's not good. That's not good.
Don't have enough.
Editor,
in
cut
my
this out. Cut this out. Cut to the part where we
case.
win.
6, 7. One more. 8.
He has. Oh God. This dude's playing Yahtzee over here.
Hey, I told you guys that there's a high possibility you're gonna die in this campaign. Or this one shot, rather. And then Mikey was like, you always say that.
Merry Christmas, everybody, I guess.
Happy
All of our listeners, I hope you're having a
holidays.
great time watching us die.
Die.
Happy holidays.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you're gonna take 8d8 of damage here, Vespira. Which is going to come out to be... You're going to take 32 points of necrotic damage.
Awesome. Can I use a reaction?
You can.
I'm gonna use Hellish Rebuke, and I need a Dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw. It's going to be a 4.
That fails.
Burn.
2d8. Oh, it's 6d10 fire damage at this level.
6d10.
Wow, that sucks still. 27 fire damage. Damn, that was not what I wanted it to be.
For a reaction, that is not bad.
Not bad at all.
Oh, yeah.
All right. It is then going to be the Beholder's turn.
I need to make a wisdom saving throw.
It is going to make a wisdom saving throw. It's going to be a nat 1.
That will fail. It does not get an action.
All right. It is, however, going to float 10 feet up, which means, Stinger, if you would like to use your reaction to make an opportunity attack, you're welcome to do so.
Great. I guess this would just be a hit with another hive. So that's going to be a 15.
That is going to miss, unfortunately.
That sucks. Okay.
All right. It is still looking at you, though, so both Cameline and Stinger are in the anti-magic field still. It is then going to use another legendary action, rather. The only person that it can hit with that is Vespira, because she is the only one not in the anti-magic field. Vespira, can you make me a dexterity saving throw?
Yes.
Come on, Vespira.
Come on. Jesus, a 7.
No.
I'm not rolling well, guys. I was doing so good the first half.
It is going to use its disintegration ray on you, Vespira.
What does that mean?
No.
Oh,
No,
no.
Ethan, you can't. We're not
Does that
even
mean I
through the
just
first
died?
turn. We're not even
just
through the
died?
first turn.
No,
I
if it gets you to 0 hit points, you disintegrate, and I can't bring you back.
On turn 1, Ethan. On turn 1.
Wait.
I haven't even
like,
gone yet.
Once I hit 0 hit points, I'm just dead?
If this
Yeah.
That's
hits,
what it means?
If the ray gets
this
you to 0.
damage that I'm about to roll, I'm just going
It's a
to
lot.
read the effect. If the target is a
lot.
creature, it must succeed on a DC 16 dexterity saving throw or take 10d8 force damage. If this damage reduces the creature to 0 hit points, the body becomes a pile of fine gray dust, not dissimilar from that which you saw in the workshop. So,
Alright, roll your dice. Let's see what happens.
remember how many sets of die I actually
Merry
have. I might have
Christmas.
to re-roll a couple here.
Gotta pull out 8d10.
Oh, wait, hold on. I thought I had 10 sets. Here we go. So that's 9, and then my Owlin Paladin dice set is about to come out to make 10. Wait. Actually, I think I have 11.
You had to test him, Michael, huh?
I have 11 dice sets.
Listen.
That's...
I'm sorry, I should have made it louder. I was like, hey, Claudia, you really need to get in the anti-magic field if the eye rays don't work in it. Trust me, I know why Ethan's gone 20 more feet in the air. I know what he's afraid of. He's afraid of little Miss Cameline getting a little excited.
Claudia, I would like to first of all say I am sorry.
No, you're not.
The thing about beholders is that every time they use an I-beam, you roll a d10 and you do it. The I-beams all are assigned to a number and you do what it rolls, and I rolled a 9, which is disintegration ray.
Uh-huh.
It's at least not the death ray. That's a different one.
Yeah, but the issue is that
Okay,
On a
I
death
rolled
ray, I could
bad.
still-
I rolled bad.
I could still bring her back.
4 of my d20s or d8s rather landed on a 1. Plus 2.
Okay.
Plus 4, plus 4, plus 2, plus 7, plus 5. It's gonna be 28 points of force damage.
Okay, it's not 0. I'm still kicking. Holy moly, that was
So-
scary.
Vespira, you are blasted by this force ray. It is then going to be Stinger's turn.
I want to go heal Vespira, but I don't want to leave the eye range. So, I am going to...
You could run out and come back in.
You're right.
You're technically
Yeah.
not in melee range, right?
How...
Because he's so
No,
high
I'm
up.
not. How far away is Vespira from me?
She
I'm, like, in the
is
air.
20 feet from you.
Awesome. You know what? That's fine. I'm gonna go
No, it's-
down.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast a little Cure Wounds at level 3 on Vespira. For Da-da-da. 22 healing.
Yay! Thank you.
And I'm going to move back up with the remainder of my movement into the range of the eyeball. And then I'm going to grab a hive and throw it.
Roll a hit.
Dirty 20.
That'll do it.
So, that is 7 damage from the hive itself, plus 4 damage from me being small and angry, plus 2 damage for my fighting style being thrown weapon fighting, plus my hive is going to have the bees come on out and start stinging this fella. Bam, for 3 more piercing damage. And I am still up in the air in this magic field, being supported under my feet as a flying speed from my bees within the field.
I believe that if you are going to run all the way down to Vespira to do that healing, you're going to have to stay on the ground to get back into the magic field. But you will...
Triangles,
no, that
baby.
works. Never mind. Triangles.
Okay. I still have my flying speed for an extended period, by the way. I can double check how long. It doesn't really...
Okay.
It lasts for a minute, so I still have my
Okay.
flying for a bit, too.
So yeah, you're able to pull that off. That sounds great. Amazing. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
So it was an action, plus I already cast a spell. I think I didn't use a bonus action yet. I got nothing to do. I think that's it.
Okay. It is going to use its final legendary action of the turn, and once again, Vespira is the only one not in the anti-magic cone.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Can you please roll me a wisdom saving throw, Vespira?
Okay, at least I have that going for me. +6.
Come on, Vespira, please.
I net 1.
Vespira.
What the hell? That's a 6. That's a 6.
This eye stalk spins down to look at you and blasts you with this sort of like black and white misty ray. And as it strikes you, the beholder says, Santa cannot come down the chimney if not all of the little boys and girls are sleeping. And you, Vespira, fall asleep. It is then going to be Cameline's turn.
All right. Cameline, it's 20 feet in the air. Get down here, you stupid beholder. Cameline is going to walk over to Vespira, and I'm going to use one of my actions to shake her awake.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, I'm going to give her I'm going to smash a little blue vial at her feet and cast Sanctuary on her.
Ooh, tell us about that.
So you are encased in this aura, and I ward the creature against attack. Until the spell ends, any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or harmful spell must first make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the attack or spell. It doesn't protect you from area of effects, and if the warded creature makes an attack or affects the enemy that's attacking it, then the spell ends. So it's just protecting her until her next turn, basically.
Okay. Does that require concentration?
No.
Excellent.
I know,
Okay.
you're waiting for Bestow Curse to end. I hear you.
Oh, yes.
I hear you.
Oh, yes, I am.
As I do so, I'm casting another I'm throwing another potion up at him with Firebolt, which the fact that I'm labeling these as potions means Cameline's got an arm on her.
Yes, she does.
It's like a football player. And 24, will that hit?
Oh, yeah, well, not only an arm,
right.
but aim, too.
Give me another 8 fire damage, and... Oh, wait, I forgot I have Divine Strike, so I can add another d8 for Radiant. That's okay, I will just remember. 1 Radiant damage, and then I will walk back into the anti-magic cone.
Brilliant. It is going to use another legendary action to try and hit Vespira.
I'll need a wisdom save.
That's only going to be a 9, so that's going to fail, I
So
would assume.
it cannot target Vespira, and if it can't choose anyone else, then it loses its action.
So it is going to blast its paralyzing ray at Stinger, and the anti-magic cone that it is enveloping you all in is going to nullify it. It is then going to be the lair action turn. It lets out this like squelching sound from one of its eye stalks as it sprays this like ooey gooey slime across the ground, almost like melted chocolate chips from a cookie. And the entire ground of this lair is going to become difficult terrain, so it is going to have all of your speeds if you are walking on it. And then it is going to be Vespira's turn.
Okay. So, she is going to... Just looking... So, if my speed is double, that means that my speed is normal, right? Because
Correct.
it halves the speed. Okay, so... She is going to get within 5 feet of this magic cone,
Okay.
just to kind of make sure she can jump in if necessary. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Enervation. As a tendril of inky darkness reaches out and touching a creature within the range, which is 60 feet. I need a dexterity saving throw.
That is going to be an 18.
18. Okay, that's success. So it's only half damage. Let me roll that. All right, so that's going to be 9 necrotic damage.
Okay.
And then, would it be possible for me to hold my action, my second action, to jump into the non-magic ray if I need to, if it comes at me again? Since I no longer have that thing Mikey did.
That would be your movement, not your action.
Oh. Okay, then what I'll do is... Can I hold the action to dash into the non-magical field? Since that's technically... Or is that also movement, technically?
That is definitely not how that technically works, but I will allow it. I will allow it.
Oh, yippee! Okay.
Simply because of haste. Otherwise, I would say no. But because you have the effects of haste, I will allow it.
Thank you. And that's my turn.
Brilliant. It is then going to be the Beholder's turn. It's going to roll a wisdom save. It's going to get a 9 again.
It doesn't get an action.
So it does not get an action, but it is going to use its movement to float 10 feet towards where you all entered, and it is going to turn its eye away from you all, so none of you are in the anti-magic field. It is then going to use one of its legendary actions. It is going to turn again towards Vespira. Can you give me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Yes, and you know what I just realized?
What's that?
By looking at haste? Technically, I have advantage on dex saves, so that...
Great. Hit me
So
with
that-
advantage then on that dex save.
Can you dash when it tries to target you, Vespira, and just dash into the anti-magic cone like you wanted to?
The anti-magic
I don't
cone
know.
has turned itself
Yeah.
upwards towards the ceiling away from you all.
It's okay.
Oh.
That's okay, because I have advantage, and I should have done that for the stupid, fizzy ray that could have killed me, but it's okay. Alright. So that is a 17.
So you're going to be able to dodge out of the way of the slowing ray that is sent your way.
Slay.
All right. It is then going to be Stinger's turn.
All right. Is it possible to move into a ray, or am I still in a ray?
You mean the anti-magic cone?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
It has turned its cone upwards towards the ceiling. So where you are flying, you could get up to it if you would like to fly basically over top of this beholder.
Totally cool with that. I'm going to move up there, and I'm going to drop my last hive directly from on top of it.
Great. Roll that with advantage because you are directly above it and just dropping it, not having to throw it.
Sick. 14.
That's not going to hit.
That's great. Then I'm going to swap to my short bow, and I'm going to have some of the bees that are kind of just like around by my feet hop onto the arrow, and I am going to shoot the bee-covered arrow at the beholder as my second attack.
Okay, roll the hit.
Let's go. That's a 27.
That'll do it.
That is 7 piercing damage. Plus, it's just this character is just math. 7 plus 4 for being small. Plus my 1d6. Plus 5. 7 plus 4 plus 5. As the bees continue to sting this fella. That is my first action. My second action, I'm going to shoot it.
Was the ball, the nest, not your first action?
No, I have 2 attacks per action.
2 attacks per action. Gotcha.
So I'm going to shoot 2 more bow shots at this fella. When it comes to the swarm, once on each turn I can have the swarm attack. So while the bees are down, they're still doing their thing. I'm going to go for 2 more arrow shots.
Okay.
That is not going to hit. That is a 2.
Not going to do it.
21.
That'll do it. That'll hit.
That is 5 more piercing damage plus 4 more damage from being small.
Amazing. So you just like drop this nest and it basically like hits and then slowly slides and falls to the ground since you did not put enough oomph in it with just dropping it to break the nest. You look at that for a second, switch to your short bow and just like volley off these arrows. You all do see drips of sickly sweet blood dropping from these wounds in this beholder.
Can I make one retcon because I'm silly and forgot?
Sure.
I forgot to cast my Hunter's Mark as a bonus action.
I'll allow it. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's whenever I hit it with a weapon attack.
Okay.
So can I retcon and say I did it at the start of my turn?
Sure, that's okay.
That's so cool. So that is 3 hits. So that is 2 plus 3 plus 5 damage on Hunter's Mark. So that's 10 total from this Hunter's Mark.
It is going to turn its last legendary action for this round on Cameline. Can you please give me a Constitution saving throw?
Yeah, this isn't
It is not the charm right now.
Oh, dang. That's a nat 1.
You are going to be struck and affected by the paralyzing ray. So you are paralyzed for the next hour.
Wonderful. This is why I love beholders.
All right. You will be able to repeat that saving throw at the end of your turn, which is up now. So go ahead and roll that Constitution saving throw for me again, please.
Yeah, no, that's a 10.
Not going to do it. So it is going to use a legendary action. Unfortunately, it knows that you will become unparalyzed if you are hit with another ray, and Stinger is back in the anti-magic cone. So Vespira, you're the only one left.
Yay!
Go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, that's a 7.
Vespira, once again, you are struck by the sleep ray. As it says, I said, go to sleep. And you fall asleep. It is then going to be your turn, but you unfortunately do not get to remake that save. So it is just going to skip you. It is then going to be the Beholder's turn. He's going to roll a Wisdom save.
He
I
doesn't
figure
need to, technically, because I'm paralyzed, which means I'm incapacitated, which means my concentration drops.
which means your concentration drops. That's right. So it's got its turn back. So it is going to sweep its anti-magic cone away from Stinger. And it is going to send, first of all, the Charm Ray at you.
Okay, that's fine. It has disadvantage. Or I have advantage against it.
So that is going to be a Wisdom save, please.
Please. Easy. 21.
That's
Wait,
going to...
Yeah, 21. Sorry.
That is going to save. So you're going to be unaffected by that. Next, seeing that you are not affected by this, it calls out, if not to be swept up by the Christmas spirit, then enjoy the naughty list. I'm going to need a Constitution saving throw this time.
Oh no, that's the bad one, Ethan. That's the bad one. Oh no. 11. Ho ho ho.
You are going to take the full brunt of this Innervation Ray.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's cool. It's fine.
You're going to take 27 points of necrotic damage.
That's cool.
So, and I don't believe I said this for Claudia, so I'm not going to retcon this in, but because it is necrotic damage, you both take that damage and it does reduce your max HP by 27 as well.
Oh.
So I do not remember how much of that you took, Vespira, so I'm not going to backtrack that. But I am going to enforce it for Stinger. It is going to use its last ray then on Stinger. Stinger, can you please roll me another Constitution saving throw?
It's so fine. We're so fine. That's a dirty 20.
So it is going to try and hit you with its paralyzing ray, but it does not affect you, which is fortunate since you are 20 feet in the air.
True.
25 feet, really, in the air. Brilliant. So that's going to be its turn, which is going to then bring it to... it's actually going to use another legendary action here and send one more ray at you, Stinger.
It's fine.
Technically, it can only do that at the end of other creatures' turns, not its own turn.
Is that true?
Just because Grant Van Camp got me with that one. Shout out Grant Van Camp in Call of the Deep.
Drats, you're right. That's what I get for not having prep time. All right. Fine. Stinger, it's your turn then.
Okay. So do I still have 2 actions per turn?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I want to attempt to wake up our sleeping feller Vespira. It's Vespira who's asleep, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. I'm literally just gonna like reach into a pocket and pull out a random item and just chuck it at her because I'm like way up in the sky right now. I'm gonna grab a unlit torch and just drop it down below me.
If you are not going down to her, I am going to make you roll a hit. And if it hits, she will wake.
Awesome.
Do it with
I'll
advantage,
do that.
though, since she is asleep, which means prone on the ground.
Are we calling that unarmed strike?
No, improvised weapon.
Oh, improvised weapon. What's the ad for that?
It is, I believe, just plus your proficiency if you are proficient with improvised weapons.
Well, that's a... I'm assuming my proficiency is 4. That's going to be 14.
Does that hit, Claudia?
14, no.
Okay. Well, then
It's
I
okay.
guess we just keep on going. 2 attacks per action. Okay. We're going to go with a couple things. We're going to go with short bow, and spell. Alright? For the short bow hits, first. That's going to be... Yeah. Wait, I'm trying to... That was probably... Was that an action to drop a torch?
Yes.
Okay, then we have 1 short bow. That's an 11 to hit.
It's not going to do it.
All right, I'm going to reach into my quiver and pull out a single arrow. And I am going to throw it down towards the beholder, and it is going to split into a barrage of arrows as I cast Conjure Barrage. I need a dex save.
Oh my god. That's awesome. It's going to be a dirty 20, though.
That's terrible. So it's going to take half damage. That is 12 half to 6. And I think that's all I can do. Man, that was a real anticlimactic turn.
All good ideas. The dice just hate you.
Just right now.
Okay, we are back to the top of the order. Cameline, it is going to be your turn. You and Vespira both stand on the ground floor of this lair still, while the beholder flies about 20 feet above you, and Stinger about another 10 feet above that. What would you like to do?
All right. Vespira, how are you looking?
Vespira is a little shaky, but she kind of like straightens herself up and looks to you and gives you a nod of like reassurance.
Okay. So if I don't, I think then that what I'm gonna do is, okay. In that case, you are gonna see, as Cameline reaches into her bag, because we still have our double action, from the potions, and pulls out these syringes, and I'll be throwing out 6 syringes at this thing in her version of Magic Missile.
Amazing.
Casting it at 4th level. So we'll start 1. So that's 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2. Okay, that evened out. So that's 15, 21, 23 force damage. And then I'm also then, for my other action, going to cast Firebolt on it.
Amazing. That's a cantrip, correct?
Correct.
Great.
It does a 19 hit.
A 19 does hit.
And that will be for 13 fire damage, plus my radiant from Blessed Strike, so she throws a fire potion at it, which is 1 radiant damage.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
I think I am good. That will be my turn. I will stay relatively close to Vespira in case she needs me.
Okay. In that case, the beholder is going to use one of its legendary actions. Stinger, can I please have you make me a Constitution saving throw?
Sure thing, pal. Oh boy, that was a 6.
Can you please also roll me a d20?
That's ominous. 7.
Stinger, as this beholder Santa gets just dinged away by these potions being flung up at it and syringes being thrown up at it by Cameline, it turns one of its eye stalks on you and blasts one of its rays towards you, and you feel your muscles seize up, and you are unable to move. Unfortunately, rolling a 7 on that luck check, this ray also affects the bees, keeping you in the air.
No!
And you begin to fall.
Shit.
Defeated. My plan's gone.
It is then going to be the lair action's turn. Let's roll a d20 to decide which of our two friends this targets. Cameline, as you regather yourself, after throwing up all of these potions and syringes and the like, you quickly turn your attention down to check your inventory, and as you are looking back up, you lock eyes with a stalk that has sprouted out of the wall, and with a slurp emerges from this wet cold stone. It blinks at you and then blasts a ray at you. Can you please make me a wisdom saving throw?
24.
Whew.
You get hit squarely with this ray, and you see a mouth sort of squelch its way into the bottom of the eyelid, on the bottom half of this eye stalk, that just garbles out, "Oh, the naughty children are still awake while they should be asleep. Oh, it won't be cold for you." It is then going to be Vespera's turn.
Okay, let's see. Let me just roll this and see. Okay. How does a 25 do me? Will that hit?
That'll hit.
Yes! Oh, Vespera's been waiting for this. She's casting Witch Bolt. And
Amazing.
You can see her red hand kind of raise up, and she's like, "I'm so over this Christmas spirit." And her hand kind of flicks, and this blue crackling energy hits. And let me just roll this damage. She is casting this at level 5. It's her last slot. For 36 damage!
Holy shit!
Oh.
And this spell, just for anyone listening who doesn't know, this spell is a concentration, so it does end if I drop this concentration. However, I can just automatically reroll damage. But Ethan, above DM, if it's my last level 5 slot, does that continue even if I'm done with level 5 slots, or do I just roll it at a lower level?
I'm sorry. Say that.
Because it's my last level 5 slot, do that automatic damage that happens if I hold this concentration, does that happen? Do I have to roll it at a lower level because it's my last 5 slot? Or how does that work with the concentration?
No, so the damage will remain the same because it is that the spell cast took that much energy to cast, that much magical power to cast. You just will not be able to cast it again at that level. But so long as you maintain your concentration, that force will remain.
Great. And I'm going to just as I have my hand out and cast this witch bolt, I'm going to look over to Cameline and just say, "Have my back. I can keep this going for as long as I can."
Of course, darling.
I knew I liked you.
Vespera, as you launch out this blast of magical energy that connects with this Beholder Santa, that energy streaks just above Stinger as he has fallen about halfway to the ground.
Oh. Okay.
The Beholder's then going to use another...
You still have another action, Vespera.
Oh, you do have another action.
And your movement, if you would like to.
And your movement, which I believe is doubled still because you had the full effects of haste.
Okay, quick question. I'm trying to look at what I don't know if I have anything that would help. Is Stinger technically a small creature?
Yes, he is. He sure is.
How heavy do you think he is?
In my head, I think I said he was like either 60 or 80 pounds.
Oh, there goes Mage Hand.
Oh yes,
I got nothing.
much too heavy for Mage Hand.
Not that small.
Yeah, okay.
You could go catch him, darling.
Oh! Will that break my concentration?
It's a good question.
Oh, illustrious DM.
Should it?
Would that break my concentration?
Here's what I will say, because I'm not going to give you an answer to that question and let you make a decision above table like that.
Ooh.
But you as a spellcaster would know that typically concentration gets broken when you are hurt, which tends to happen when you get hit.
Heard. Okay. I don't think I can give up my concentration right now, but I will go ahead and use my second action to just to make Stinger feel better. And this is what she'd do, is she would cast Minor Illusion and create a big pile of feathers right underneath where Stinger would lay, as long as that doesn't break concentration, which I don't think it does.
Does Minor Illusion require concentration?
No.
And it is a cantrip, correct?
Yes.
Then it should be fun.
So she's just gonna hopefully help his sanity by creating this illusion and just kind of like grit her teeth as she sees Stinger fall and look to Cameline, and that will be her turn.
Stinger, as you are tumbling end over end through the air towards the hard stone floor of Santa's office, you see, in the brief glimpses of downwards that you catch, a nice bed of feathers appear below you. You, Cameline, you, Vespira, as you hit Santa with this just wallop of a spell, you see a couple of his eye stalks fully just disintegrate and fall to the ground in ash, almost like that which might be left behind in a fire. It's then going to turn one of its remaining eye stalks, on you. And you hear that some of the jolliness has left his voice. Now that's very naughty. I'm going to need you to make me a DC. I'm not going to tell you the DC. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw as it turns its disintegration ray on you.
Oh, ouch. Okay.
Uh-oh.
You said a dexterity saving throw?
Come on,
Dexterity
Vespira,
saving
come
throw.
on.
The beauty of a beholder, you roll a d10, you take the ray that it gives you.
Uh-oh.
Okay. For anyone listening, I am on pins and needles, and I'm going to just pray that this lands how I want it to. Dexterity saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 23!
Oh my god.
Vespira, you fully do like a tuck and roll and like dive out of the way, do a roll and spring back up with the dexterity of a well-trained fighter.
Yes!
It is then going to be the beholder's turn.
Come at me, babe.
Having just taken that massive amount of damage from you and being in not good shape, it's going to fire another ray at you. I'm going to roll a d10. Listeners, we're going to pause for a minute while I take a picture of this
He's going
No way.
to just
are
prove
kidding me.
that I
Way.
rolled a 9
There is-
again. So for those of you who have the monster manual memorized back to front, you will know that 9 is again the disintegration ray.
No way!
Vespira, please roll me another dexterity saving throw.
Oh my god.
And I'm sending this in the Discord while you do that just to prove that I am being honest.
Listeners, do not let him fool you. This is
Okay.
for the plot.
So wait, give me this again. If I don't succeed, it's just that if I lose all my HP, I will turn to dust and won't be able to get saved, right?
That is correct.
And it doesn't mean that I automatically get disintegrated, correct?
How about you roll me that dexterity saving throw?
Yeah,
We'll talk
we
about
should
what
probably
happens.
explain what's happening here for the listeners. Hey guys, if you don't play D&D that much, if Claudia doesn't roll very high, there's a realistic chance her character's turn to dust. Stay tuned.
Okay.
No, I don't like that laugh.
I rolled a 13.
Wait. Am I forgetting something? Am I
She's
remembering
too
something?
hot for this. Ethan.
She is too hot. Let me. You have advantage on dexterity saving throws because of haste.
Okay, you're right. You're so right. Okay, I'm
catch,
gonna roll this
Mikey.
again.
Good catch,
Thank
Mikey.
fucking God.
Take three to avoid being disintegrated.
We can't kill the lesbians.
Oh no!
What'd you roll?
I rolled another 13.
Oh.
1, 2,
Vespira, no.
3,
I should have healed you.
4.
We
I
know
should've healed you.
we know, Ethan. We know how much damage is. You can stop counting the dice. We know.
You can quit, okay?
7.
We get it. Don't rub it in my
8.
face. The hottest character I've ever created, and you
9.
kill her. I think that's actually homophobic.
10.
Oh my god. I literally just ran up. Ah.
I'm just saying. Bury your gaze is so true right now, and that's so mean.
So,
Claudia, how much HP do you have at the moment?
Ethan, I kind of want you to tell me how much damage you just rolled first.
No, don't. Just tell him, Claudia, tell him.
Vespira, you dodge out of the way of this first disintegration ray with this tuck and roll. And as you come to your feet, you hear, "I see you," and are blasted with this disintegration ray, taking 42 points of force damage.
no way. Claudia. Speak to us.
Vespira. Vespira takes a deep breath as she sees this ray coming towards her. And she feels it hit her, gather in her bones. And she looks to Stanger and Cameline. And you can almost hear a pin drop as the silence stops like sand and a timer. As she goes, I wasn't meant for this. To be good, to be redeemed. But you two made it worth it. As she and her 40 HP left drain down into nothingness.
As the world stands still for that moment, and in what seems to be a dreaded silence, Cameline and Stinger, you can hear every word that comes from Vespira, clear as if she was standing right next to you. This ray connects with her. And the dust she is turned to joins the ash of the ruined eye stalks collecting on the floor. One last lump of coal for Santa to carry tonight. Stinger, you see the feathers beneath you vanish in a puff of black and red mist, and the cold ground fast approach. Can you please roll me another Constitution saving?
Yes, I can. That is 14.
Unfortunately, that does not beat the DC.
I figured.
And so as the sound comes back into the world, the ground rushes up to you, and you land flat on your back, taking 9 points of force damage from your fall. It is going to use its last legendary action to turn an eye stalk on Cameline. Claudia, will you please roll me a d10?
I sure can. A last kiss, perhaps. The first and the last.
Just don't roll a 9.
It is a 5.
Cameline, can you please roll me a Constitution saving throw?
Constitution, of course it's Constitution. Can't be anything like 19. 17 plus 2, baby.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but for our people listening, Mikey celebrated and then immediately, after hearing the okay, covered his mouth with his hand in utter shock.
Cameline, as you watch Vespira's dust settle on the ground, you are perhaps caught a bit by surprise by this ray that now comes to you. You're able to rally yourself enough to fight off some of the effects, but not all. You're going to take 18 points of necrotic damage, which also lowers your maximum HP by 18 points.
Alright, so that'll be 15, because I had some temp HP still.
Okay. It is then going to be your turn, Cameline.
Cameline is going to look at Stinger, look at her potion bag, look at the dust, and can I attempt to insight check whether Stinger wants me to try to get him up or just to throw everything I have at this thing?
Roll me a medicine check or an insight check. Considering your history as a battlefield medic, I think we can call it medicine if you would prefer.
26.
You You recognize the effects of this type of paralyzation well enough to know that this is something that must be thrown off by the affected themselves.
Cameline is going to look up at the beholder, and as she does, she has another red vial, and she is throwing different little concoctions into it as she does, as she looks up to it, and goes, "You know, I've seen a lot in my time, and I'm sure you have too in your current state. But where you have watched people in good and bad, I have only seen the horror and the terror they have caused. Tell me, would you like to see what it's like to watch a bomb fall?" And I'm going to toss my potion and cast Flame Strike on it.
Roll ahead.
I need it to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, never mind. Just get all my damage die out of my tray. Oop, that's a 10. I need a 20. You said what type of save?
Dexterity.
Dexterity is going to be a 21.
It will pass, so it's going to take half damage. So I believe that is... So it'll take half of 17 fire damage and half of 16 radiant damage.
Okay.
And I'm also going to throw a firebolt potion at it as well.
Great. That's a roll to hit, correct?
Correct. 22.
That'll do it.
All right. And that'll be 11 fire damage plus the extra bit of radiant for my blessed strikes. That's 5 radiant damage.
This thing, you see just red mixed almost with white, some pepperminty, just globular drops of blood, spewing out of this thing. It has fallen 10 feet out of the air from the damage that it just took. So it is only about 10 feet in the air. It almost seems like it is tilted sideways as it is attempting to stay in the air. You get the feeling that this thing is holding on by a thread. It is going to turn.
I would like to use my bonus action to scoop up some of Vespira's ashes into a bottle.
Amazing. You're able to do so. Claudia, can I please have you roll a d10?
Rolling, rolling, rolling. It is a 9.
Dude.
Cameline, a dexterity saving throw, if you would please.
No shot.
Unbelievable.
That's a 9, because I don't have the full effect of haste.
Oh my god. No, no, no. Not another one.
Dude, Merry
Could've just
Christmas to us.
Failed that dexterity saving throw.
Happy holidays, man.
Listeners, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Enjoy this special presentation.
Ethan's face just now.
Dude just
went,
rolled max
"Ooh."
damage.
Oh my god.
Cameline, in your moment of humanity, reaching down to scoop up some of Vespira's ashes, you take the full force of this disintegration ray and take 55 points of force damage.
Cameline gets hit by this ray and kind of staggers looks at the eye stalk that did it, and spits on it.
Come on, girl! I knew that I had a
2
strong
HP in a
girlfriend.
dream, baby!
You see, this stalk has like swooped down near you to blast you with the full force of this ray, and it doesn't even blink when it is hit with this this spit. But it like sort of like recoils and almost like pulls into itself, and it then zoops back up to this overgrown and bulbous head atop this teeny little body, and
Would I
tries
be able
to
to
like
get an opportunity attack from that?
not within melee range.
Boo, hiss. Dang. Okay, I had to try.
Good question, but no. It then like wipes its own eye against like the fleshy overgrown head of Santa Claus. It is then going to be the Beholder's turn. Can't take as many lair actions now since we have a small party. Or, sorry, legendary actions, rather. So, Claudia, if you'd be so kind.
Am I rolling a d10?
D10, please, yes.
Please,
All
Claudia,
right.
please.
That's a 6.
Fascinating. We haven't had this one yet. Kimberly,
No, dang it.
can you make me a strength saving throw?
Oh, not the head and hands.
Yeah, you're asking the nurse to make a strength saving. I'm done. I'm down. I'm sorry, Stinger. That's an 8.
Shoot.
I have -2 in strength.
Cameline, you are blasted by this beautiful purple ray, and you are lifted 30 feet into the air.
Oh,
And Santa chortles out, down the chimney for this one too. Stinger, if you would be
dead.
so kind.
Please get up, please. Please let me get back up, please.
Constitution saving throw, please.
Ah! No! That's a 12.
I should have ended it on you. We need another target.
In this moment, I would like the editor to flash us back to when we had started rolling the microphone, and Mikey said, "You always say you're gonna kill us, Ethan."
Well, it's not my fault you threw a beholder at us, which there's no, like, and you got rid of the counterplay.
10! You're level 10!
There's 3 of us! Incapacitation is a huge tool!
Hey, it's a dice roll monster. It's a dice roll monster.
Oh, Vespera, she was so hot.
Stinger, from the ground on your back, you watch as Cameline is... Ooh, kitty cat! You watch as Cameline is lifted up into the air. This beholder that has, like, faltered and flown, is not able to keep itself levitating, has flown down to the point where it's only about 10 feet off the ground. It turns and looks up, and it's, because its finger cannot reach its own nose, an eye stalk swings up and taps the side of its mutilated and disformed nose and says, "While I go up, you come down." And Cameline, you feel this telekinetic strength, this telekinetic effect release you as you begin to fall. It is then your turn.
Wonderful. Okay. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Screw it. Ethan can yell at me but I think this is fine. I'm going to cast at 4th level with my bonus action, Mass Healing Word. So both Stinger and I will recover some health. Max health. So that's 13 health we'll both recover. And because of my type of cleric I am, as I throw these healing potion at the ground, I can restore, when I restore HP to an ally with a spell of level of 1st level or higher, I can end one spell equal to or level in the level of healing spell of my choice on the creature. I'm casting a 4th level spell. Can I remove the paralysis that's on Stinger?
Oh, what a good question. This is not a spell.
I know, but Lesser Restoration, which is a 2nd level spell, can remove paralysis.
It can. I tell you what I will do, since this is not a spell, but I see your arguments. I will allow you to make an Arcana check. Let's see. What level did you say you cast it at?
4th level.
So I'll say I will remove 4 from the DC of the save to get out of the paralysis. That's what we'll do. So I need you to make me a DC 12 Arcana check.
Okay. 19. 14 plus 5.
Stinger, you watch Cameline be lifted into the air. This purple magical effect disappears around her. And for a moment, she hangs suspended. And she chucks this potion at the ground. It explodes. The room is filled with... what does this spell look like, Cameline?
You would see as she throws it, this thin green, oh, I should know this. What is it's a scent that people use to wake other people up. Oh, what is it?
The only thing coming to my mind is smelling salts.
Yeah. Yeah, but smelling salts, is it just smelling salts? Yeah, it's okay. This combination of smelling salts and ammonia just wafts its way, and almost as if it somehow knows its target, goes straight towards Stinger as it flies back up to hit her as well. If it smells like ammonia and mint.
That's the most vile combination I've ever heard in my life. But it does release Stinger from this paralysis. Stinger, you're prone, but able to move.
With my actions, because I have 2, I'm going to cast resistance on myself. And
is that a cantrip?
It is a cantrip.
Okay.
And then what do I have in my inventory? What can I do? I can't cast 2 cantrips, right? Probably not.
Not with one action. And you've already used one action to cast this spell. Cast Mass Healing Word.
Well, that was my bonus action.
That was your bonus action? Hot damn.
Healing Word's a bonus action.
Excuse me. In that case, I don't see why you can't cast 2 cantrips.
Cool. I'm gonna throw another fire potion at this thing because I want it dead and I want it gone. I want it eviscerated from this plane. If I'm going down, I'm taking it with me if I can. I'm not taking it with me. That's an 11.
Unfortunately, as you begin to fall, your aim is not quite true, and this potion goes whizzing through the air past the beholder.
Okay. And I'm casting resistance, and I'm bracing for the drop.
It is going to use one of its legendary actions. Claudia, can you please roll me a d10?
There's one I want you to roll, Claudia. Please hit Cameline with it. Please hit Cameline with it.
Okay. Oh, sorry. My TikTok is going crazy. That is a 7.
I'm going to roll a d20. No, hold on. I'm going to make it more even. I'm going to roll a d6. 1, 2, 3, Cameline, 4, 5, 6, Stinger. That is a 1.
Hit me!
That is a 1. Cameline, can you please make me a wisdom saving throw?
Yeah. That's a 26.
You are hit by another of these sleep rays as you begin to fall, and you hear through the whistling of the wind in your ears, "Oh, why won't you all just go to sleep?"
As Cameline falls, she's going to call out, If you knew all, you would know it's PTSD insomnia, darling," which is me telling Ethan, Cameline's immune to magical sleep anyway.
Wonderful that I rolled to hit you then, rather than taking Evan out again.
Dude, I would have been so mad. I would have been so angry.
It is then going to use its layer action. Claudia, if you would be so kind, roll me another d10.
Okay, D10. That is a 3.
Okay. We're going to roll a d6 again. That's a 2. Cameline.
I'm thrown back into the air.
Can you please make me another wisdom saving throw?
27.
As you fall, the whistling of the air takes you back to your time in the war, and you are presented with visions of the horrors that you saw. How do you bat these away?
As these visions pass, you see her take out a little vial and kind of sniff it and kind of repeat in her mantra to herself, "What's done is done. I cannot change the past. I can only change the future. What's done is done. I cannot change the past. I can only change the future."
Claudia, can you roll me another d10? I'm loving this action economy right now.
That is an 8.
Okay. D6. It's a 4.
Okay.
Evan, can you roll me a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage since you are prone?
It's okay. I'm good at those. Listeners, nothing could possibly go wrong here. I'm good at those. First one's a nat 20, unfortunately. The second is a 19. That's 27.
Oh.
Yes, you can't touch this.
You, Stinger, managed to some of these bees come and like start flipping you over and roll you out of the way to help you get out of the way here. And just in the nick of time, because right where you were laying is hit with this concrete gray ray, and as you watch some of the vegetation that is trying its best to survive in these harsh conditions begins to turn to stone. It is then going to be your turn.
Okay. All right. There's so many things I want to do. First, I know what I need to do, but I'm going to ask anyways. DM, can I like perceive how this beholder is looking in terms of like health?
Sure. Roll me an insight check.
Are you making this an action, a bonus action, a reaction? What are you calling this?
I'll let it be a free thing. You've
Okay,
been laying on the
awesome.
ground watching things happen.
That's so cool.
That's so kind. So kind.
You know what's even cooler? That's a 9.
the drops of blood that you've been hit with from this thing as you've been laying on the ground, definitely feel like it's hurt. You also know that Cameline is about halfway to the ground at this point.
I know.
Almost beyond halfway to the ground at this point. And that's a bit distracting.
Yeah, he already had a plan for this. What's the range? 60 feet. Okay. So what I'm going to do is you are going to hear Stinger give another louder whistle, and immediately underneath where Cameline is set to fall, the bees are going to dash out and form almost like a firefighter's like catching net. And I am going to cast Web, and the bees are going to be catching Cameline from the sky as she falls down. It is a 20-foot cube, so Cameline will be caught and slowly be able to be carried down by the bees in this area of effect of Web.
I like how we did. You're like, let's just do a fun, festive one shot, and then Evan and I said we're going to do spellcasters that are completely weird and not doing spells the way they should be done.
Potions and bees.
Okay.
At the very least, if she ends up falling into it and my concentration breaks, it'll restart her fall, so she won't take as much fall damage. That's my logic here.
How high off the ground are you casting this to start?
I'm casting this on the ground.
On the ground. Okay. Oh, and it's a 20-foot cube. A hot diggity dog in that case, because the way that I've been tracking this in my head is that it takes a full round of combat to fall to the ground. About 6 seconds, fall 30 feet. That makes sense to me. Because we are at the bottom of the order here, Stinger, you were last in initiative, it seems logical to me that you would be, Cameline, about 10 feet, maybe a little less from the ground, which is within this 20-foot cube. So what I'm picturing here is that Stinger, how did you say you call these bees again?
I'm going to let out a loud whistle, and the bees are going to kind of connect from two different points to allow Cameline to fall into it like a firefighter's net.
So you hear the whistle come from Stinger. These bees form up in about a 20-foot cube, and this web just sprouts from all of them and connects all of these bees together, which does stop Cameline's fall, but also traps you in the cube. So you are restrained in this cube, but you have not fallen and therefore take no damage. Does that all
How
seem...
high? Yeah, how high is Cameline from the ground now?
I'm going to say 8 feet.
8 feet. Okay. I'm gonna immediately... I'm gonna immediately drop my concentration and let her restart that fall damage so she's only dropping down this 8 feet.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw, Cameline.
Will do, and I saved my resistance for this exact moment when I landed. And I'm glad I did, baby. That's a 10. I rolled really badly.
So with a 10, you fall, and the resistance and the height and all of that, everything that just happened, keeps you from taking any damage from this fall. You do, however, fall to your knees, so we are going to say that you are prone at the start of your next turn. But you have made it back to the ground completely unharmed.
Okay. All right.
I will say, at this point, Cameline will just collapse onto the ground, for Stinger, I think Stinger realizes he worked, hopefully, but Cameline is trying to give the impression that she did not survive the fall.
Stinger is so stressed already, man. He's been paralyzed for so long. So unfortunately, that was my action, which is very unfortunate. 2 actions? Oh, you're
Because
right. I'm hasted. Oh, okay.
I do believe you had half effects of haste, which gives you a second action. I believe we gave you a second action and Cameline double speed.
No, we both had 2 actions.
You both had 2 actions. Okay.
Okay. Ah, man. Now I have so many. Now I have too many open windows. Ah, jeez. Okay. Where is the cone of anti-magic that the beholder is given? Where's it
is basically like lopsided, crooked, up towards the corner of the room.
Okay, not happening. I'm going to pray that this thing has already taken a substantial amount of damage. I am going to shoot it twice with my short bow.
Okay, roll the hit.
I'm assuming also that when I was paralyzed, I lost my hunter's mark. The bees were concentration to catch Cameline.
The bees were concentration,
yeah.
So yes, you would lose your hunter's mark.
That's fine. It's bow time. Stinger's gonna reach out, draw that bow from behind his back, and he is taking aim. First is an 18.
Meets it beats.
Second is a 24.
That'll hit.
The first attack is going to be 8 piercing damage.
Okay.
The second attack, the bees are going to once again hop onto this arrow and launch towards the beholder aboard this arrow as it is shot. And it is going to deal only 5 piercing damage, but then the bees begin to swarm, and they are going to deal 4 additional piercing damage.
Hey, Stinger. How you want to do this?
God bless.
Okay. All right. I spent I spent the entire last 20 minutes just sitting here strategizing what I wanted to do when I was finally able to move. Okay. All right. This first arrow is going to go wide, and it is specifically meant to target the eye that disintegrated Vespera. And it is going to pierce right through and stick there like a piercing before the second arrow is knocked and fired directly into the main center bulbous eye with all of the bees still flying along on this arrow. And as it sails and sinks directly into the beholder's bullseye, the bees are going to jump off and just start wreaking havoc, stinging everywhere all over the body.
You launch this first arrow, and it penetrates perpendicularly through this eye stalk. It almost looks like this beholder was gearing up to launch another disintegration ray, but the arrow being stuck through it like that, jams the barrel of the eye stalk, and this thing just erupts into dust as its own disintegration ray ruptures it from the inside. This second arrow gets launched off. The camera snap dollies up to the eye. It looks directly down the shaft of this arrow. For a moment, again, time freezes. And to all a good night. This thing connects right into the eye stalk, and then these bees just straight into every single square inch that it can reach of this beholder. This beholder that was like a gray, purpley, vein-filled blob of a head that used to sit upon the normal body of Santa Claus goes from this gray, purpley color to just like bright yellow and pitch black as these bees just cover every square inch of it. This thing explodes in bits of goopy flesh, and there's almost a faint hint of peppermint that fills the air for a moment as bits of different rays do different things as they all are going off as this thing dies. Dust from disintegration rays falls to the ground. There's like some magical sparks that come through the air through like some of these charmed rays, some of the sleep rays. There's like a black, like almost black hole that appears from the innervation ray of necrotic energy that like sucks itself in and then disappears. And with the faint sound of jingle bells, you watch as, rocking back and forth to the ground, floats Santa's hat as it settles gently in the dust that has now covered the floor.
I, Evan, am very conscious of the deep and heavy moment that I meant to have right here. Miss my friend a whole lot. However, also I, Stinger, am sucking this up. He is jumping up and down like a little child, and he goes, all right, I've been waiting so long for this one. You ready? Turns out, beauty really is in the eye of the beholder. And he's like holding bees in his hand, like, get it? Cause I'm holding their bees, and he's a behold. It's a double pun, you know, cause he's a beholder and I'm holding the bees. So it's funny, right? That was a good. That I should probably not a good time, right?
You just see Camlin laying face down in the ground, like on the ground, like who is still playing dead. And on hearing your stupid joke, you see her body shaking, and for a second you think it's like, oh, she's sobbing. She is not. And then you hear just the faintest giggle come out of her mouth as she slowly pushes herself off as she's laughing and looks at you, Stinger, and goes, Stinger, that was the stupidest joke I've ever heard.
Oh, and don't get me wrong, I am aware of how terribly timed that was, considering, and he looks down at the ashes that he is actively standing in of his fallen comrade. You think this will come out of leather?
And Camlin shakes her head and just comes up, like, kind of hobbling a little bit, with her, 15 HP. And, puts a hand on Stinger's shoulder. She kind of stoops a little bit because he's a little short. And goes, Stinger, sometimes the only way to handle the pain is to laugh. And Vespera, she saw we were crying, she'd tell us to suck it up.
Yeah, fair enough. She's probably cracking jokes out there that her body parts are in my clothing. Ugh.
And then you see Cameline go, probably mine too. And then she flushes Scarlet for a second and then immediately goes back to being her usual taciturn self. And then she'll look at Stinger and go, I have a plan unless you have one. I assume they'll be realizing there's no Santa Claus and be trying to fetch us soon.
Yeah, wait. I gotta check something out. Imagine how much this one will go for. And as he's saying this, he is like hobbling over to the hat that has slowly sunk its way down to the floor. And he's gonna pick it up and just kind of like inspect it, investigate it. Looking for arcana, looking for anything interesting besides it's a red hat.
A new hand touches the oracle.
Oh, God! I knew it! I called it at the start. Oh, Santa!
As Santa
Stinger
is
Claus!
insane.
Oh, God!
Stinger, do you want to be Santa Claus?
No! Oh,
Wonderful.
God.
I didn't want to take it from you, but I have another plan for that. Hold on to that hat.
Ugh.
As you reach down and scoop up Santa's hat, you hear the the sound of the wind kick up. And while before your teleportation here almost seemed to be made of some kind of like sandy magic conjured by Father Time's hourglass atop his staff, or at the very least the way that his magic manifests itself. This time you are caught up in a vortex of bright white snow. And as it clears, you find yourself once again standing in the chamber of the Council of Holiday Figures. They all turn and look at you, and Father Time says, I had faith you would be the ones to complete this mission. Well done.
I have so many questions.
I am sure you do, but alas, he gives his staff a little shake. Time runs short.
Then let's be quick. And Cameline hobbles over to Father Time and sets down the vial of Vespera's ashes and goes, Father, I believe rewinding time is your specialty. I think somebody deserves a second chance.
Listen, man, she literally gave her life for this. I mean, granted, there were probably like 30 other people before us that did the same thing, but since we won, I think it's fair. I mean, that's just me. You know, spirit of Christmas, right? Happy ending.
Vespera comes back, but it's just like her head and left leg.
I'm trying to have a really touching moment here, and you
sorry,
two.
I've been biting my tongue. Okay, I'll be quiet now.
You see Father Time looks contemplatively at this jar of ashes and says, Remember, my child, we, at the start of this adventure, shared that we had no power within each other's jurisdictions. And as our dear friend gave her life in Santa's realm, it is unlikely this shall succeed, but perhaps. As Claudia slowly retracts both middle fingers that were up at me. Perhaps in Mr. Claus's absence, the walls between realms could be thinner. And he gives his staff a spin again. You see the ashes in this jar swirl and swirl and swirl, tornadoing inside of this jar until, with the breaking of glass, the ashes erupt out. And you see time rewind. And Vespera reform in front of you.
It's a Christmas miracle!
As Father Time uses his 1 level 9th spell slot above table on Christmas Eve to cast Wish.
Oh my god.
God bless us, everyone.
Vespera casts Wish Bolt.
You are out of 5th level spell slots. Go away.
You see Cameline look at Vespera and then turn to Stinger and go, I don't want to be Santa Claus. I assume you don't want to be Santa Claus. And then she's gonna eye Vespera and then kind of give like a little nudge to your bees.
Dude, she literally just returned back to this plane after presumably finding her way down to one of the 9 hells, and the first thing you're gonna ask her is she wants to be Santa Claus.
There's nothing It's just darkness. There's nothing. It's just dark. And it's cold. And it's lonely. And I had goosebumps. And it was so, I had no shawl. It was just cold.
A guy
Cameron
in a
just
trench,
nodding.
a guy in a trench coat appears from out of the corner and pulls off one side of his coat. There's just a line of hats. Hey, you want to be Santa Claus?
What the?
I wasn't.
I got a
thinking
train to catch. It's the hobo from Polar Express.
Oh my god.
Another history by Schmilliam Schmakespeare.
Not more Schmilliam Schmilliam.
You did not just canonize the Polar Express too. Thomas the Tank Engine,
Thomas.
the
Trains are
Polar
real.
Express.
Technically, I implied that bombs exist, potentially the
Tom
nuclear
Kincaid.
bomb, so that
Meanwhile-
also is a thing.
Meanwhile, Vespera is just like frog blinking, like
One eye at a time.
Vespera, after like recontextualizing physically, like fingers coming back into her hand and she can feel the heat come off her body. She looks at you both, Stinger and Cameline, and goes, "You did it?"
You sound like you had doubts.
If this is the afterlife, it's rather depressing, don't you think?
She looks at Stinger and she goes, Yeah, of course I did." But you persisted. And that's something that I can't do. And she'll look to the all the holiday mascots and say, "This was a tragedy. But these two deserve everything and anything. God don't make Stinger Santa Claus. God don't do that. But if there's anything that they should want, whether it's a nice list edition or just plain redemption, they deserve it. And that's coming from someone who doesn't deserve it at all, but God take my word for it."
At the mention of "please God, don't make Stinger Santa," you look over to him and you see he has like made a beard out of bees, and he is wearing the Santa hat, and he very slowly takes it off as you say this. Oh.
You see all of the mascots are seeming to nod their head in agreement with you, Vespera, as you are giving them this speech. The Tooth Fairy goes, "Anything they want? That requires a lot of magic."
Shut up. Shut up.
The Easter Bunny
I
goes,
always hated you.
the Easter Bunny. Well, I, for one, think that they have absolutely earned it, and I think that you are completely within your rights to request exactly everything that you have said. And Father Time sort of like strokes his long beard and nods in agreement. "Everything you say shall be done. Cameline, your name shall forever be enshrined upon the nice list, but what else does your heart desire?"
You see Cameline kind of pause for a second, and she looks and goes, "Sometimes I think about it, and sometimes I wish to forget. I wish to start a fresh slate. but doing that is how accidents happen. And history repeats, so I wish to be able to help others rest. And I desire to not have to work and see the horrors. I just want to help without the harm as well.
He takes one of your potion vials from you and sprinkles a bit of time dust atop it, and it turns a vibrant gold. This shall forever be full. Let only those you wish to help drink from it. Stinger, he turns to you. And your hearts.
I understand the whole reasoning behind your words, Cameline, repeating tragedy and all that. But I can't take away what I've already lost. I need to forget.
He inclines his head towards the bottle he just handed back to you, Cameline. Then drink, and so shall it be. But perhaps a moment first. I'll turn to you, Vespera. Has your heart anything left to say?
I have done and been dealt many wrongs. And I know that not all of them may be forgiven. I'm just glad to have a second chance. But if you would amuse me. And she stands and walks to Cameline. And she kind of fiddles her finger above her head and goes, "Some mistletoe might be adequate."
Oh, well, you're at it. Make me forget this too.
He inclines his head. So do shall that. Before the night is through, however, there are many throughout the realms, dreaming of presents in the morning, and none to deliver them. Would perhaps, for one night, the three of you together consider fulfilling that obligation?
God, yeah, make him Santa Claus. God, just let him be Santa Claus, I guess. You know what? Let him be Santa Claus.
I don't want this. I thought it was funny. I really don't want this.
Cameline's gonna turn to Vespera, and Cameline's gonna go, "Are you sure you don't want to be Santa Claus, darling?"
Vespera is going to, side-eye and go, "I hate children."
Oh, and here I was looking forward to being Mrs. Claus, she says as she turns away.
Vespera shakes and grabs and reaches down and turns Cameline's head and goes, "Anything for you, baby."
You see a portal appears that manifests the sleigh before you. A one-time commitment.
Can I have one more wish?
Fire away.
I had to mute my mic. I gotta get this together. I gotta pull it together.
Sure, says the DM. Go ahead. We're at the end of the episode. Sure.
He's been trying to
What
end
do
this
you
episode
want?
for years.
I have had this image in my head since we first started this campaign.
If it's what I think it is.
Can we ditch the reindeer?
I knew it.
Father Time sprinkles a little bit of time dust over the bees.
Yes! Yes! Oh, Merry Christmas!
They rein themselves up before the sleigh. Will you all go? Or shall Stinger commence this mission solo?
Well, is there mistletoe? I mean,
Listen, I didn't really want this. I just thought the bees would like this. I want to do this alone. You guys are coming with me.
fine, we'll take the back seat and just canoodle the whole time.
Ugh.
Oh, in public. Oh my.
As you
Not
take
in front
the
of
back
the
seat,
bees.
you see a little bit of time dust sprinkle mistletoe throughout the back seat of the sleigh, and a few command hooks.
Command hooks. Shaman schnooks.
We had not just
Command hooks are
canonized
no
command
canon.
hooks. It just keeps going. We just keep going deeper.
Kathleen
spawn.
will wait by the sleigh
Hashtag
to
not
be
spawn.
carried in.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Vespera-
Hey, command hooks, if you're listening, please sponsor our podcast. We would love to advertise. Please sponsor, reach out to us. If any of our listeners know somebody over at Big Command Hooks, let us know.
It's like
That-
Big Pharma, but Big Command hooks.
That definitely just didn't. That definitely didn't come from the. God, we're all dying. That definitely didn't come from the fact that all of our Christmas decorations are hung up with command hooks because we live in an apartment.
Sponsor us. Sponsor us.
And so, with a whip of the reins,
Nope. Stinger doesn't do that. That's mean.
Yeah, tell the DM. Tell
Please
him.
whistle.
Tell him.
Stinger whistle for us.
Stinger, how do you call out
Yeah.
to
Stinger
your
would
bees?
never physically harm his bees.
Yeah, tell
He
him.
is he is literally just whistling, bro, and they are going where they gotta go. They know him, he knows them. There's a bond. They know what he wants.
It's midnight. We're all tired.
With
Way
a
to
whistle,
timestamp us.
with a whistle and a buzz, away, away, the sleigh flies into the Christmas Eve night. The three heroes of Christmas ready to deliver the presents to all those throughout the realms, dreaming of packages to open in the morning. And as the Council of Holiday Mascots sits around their table, you almost seem to see that they all have their head in their hands, and it seems as if perhaps the Easter Bunny is passing around a suspect-looking vial. And a whisper in the sky seems to call out not just to you, but to all those with their hearts open to listen. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. And that is where we're going to end today's session. Performance Check is an original Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast. All characters, settings, and situations in this story are completely fictional. The cast of Performance Check consists of Michael Soliski as Cameline, Claudia Cromley as Vespera, and Evan Marshall as Stinger. The game is DM'd by Ethan Mann. If you've been enjoying the show, please consider subscribing to our channel on YouTube and following us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can follow us on Instagram at performance_check_D&D for updates about the show and peeks behind the scenes. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next session.